To get a Swiss tourist visa, you must apply online or at a Swiss representation abroad. Provide a completed application form, a valid passport, proof of accommodation and sufficient funds, travel insurance, and passport-size photos. Submit your application at least 2 months before your trip, but no earlier than 6 months beforehand. You will also need to book an appointment for an interview and to provide fingerprints. Application steps. Check if you need a visa. First, you must determine if you need a visa based on your nationality and the length of your stay. The requirements for entering Switzerland and the broader Schengen area are dependent on your country of citizenship. Many nationalities can enter visa-free for stays up to 90 days within a 180-day period, but others require a short-stay Schengen visa, even for tourism. You can verify this crucial information on the official website of the Swiss State Secretariat for Migration, SEM, or by contacting the nearest Swiss embassy or consulate in your country of residence. Understanding this initial requirement will dictate whether you need to proceed with the full application process, saving you valuable time and effort if a visa is not required for your specific circumstances. Start the online application. Once you have confirmed that a visa is necessary for your travel plans, the next step is to complete the online visa application form. This form is typically available through the official portal designated by the Swiss authorities, which may vary slightly depending on your location. You will be required to create an account and fill in all the necessary personal information, travel details, and background questions accurately and truthfully. Be prepared to provide details about your intended travel dates, your planned itinerary within Switzerland, and the address of your accommodation. Double-check all entered information for any errors or typos before you submit it, as inaccuracies can lead to delays or even a rejection of your application. After completing the form, you will usually be prompted to print a copy, which you will need to sign and bring with you to your subsequent appointment. Gather required documents. This stage is one of the most critical parts of the application process and requires meticulous attention to detail. You must compile a comprehensive set of documents to support your visa requests. First and foremost, you will need a valid passport. This passport must have at least 2 blank pages for the visa sticker and any entry or exit stamps, and it must remain valid for at least 90 days beyond your intended date of departure from the Schengen area. You will also need the completed and signed application form that you filled out online. Furthermore, you are required to provide 2 recent passport-size photographs that meet the specific biometric standards set by the Schengen authorities, which usually involve a plain, light-colored background and a neutral facial expression. In addition to these core documents, you must provide substantial proof of your travel arrangements and financial stability. This includes proof of accommodation, which can be confirmed hotel bookings for the entire duration of your stay in Switzerland, or a letter of invitation from a host if you are staying with friends or family. You will also need to demonstrate that you have sufficient funds to cover your expenses during the trip. This is typically done by submitting recent bank statements from the last 3 to 6 months, tax returns, or recent pay slips that clearly show a stable financial situation. Furthermore, securing travel medical insurance is a mandatory requirement. This insurance policy must be valid for the entire Schengen area, not just Switzerland, and provide a minimum coverage of €30,000 for any medical emergencies, hospitalization, or repatriation costs. You will also need to present your flight reservations, showing your intended entry and exit dates from the Schengen zone. Finally, it is highly recommended to write a detailed cover letter. In this letter, you should clearly outline your travel itinerary day by day, state the purpose of your visit, and explain why you intend to return to your home country after your trip, which helps to assure the consular officer of your non-immigrant intent. Book an appointment. After you have diligently gathered all the necessary documents, the next step is to schedule an appointment. You cannot simply walk into a Swiss representation and submit your application. Appointments must be booked in advance, and this is usually done online. Depending on your country of residence, you will either schedule the appointment directly through the website of the appropriate Swiss embassy or consulate, or through an authorized external visa service provider, such as VFS Global. These service providers are contracted by the Swiss government to handle the administrative aspects of the visa application process. It is crucial to book this appointment as early as possible, as slots can fill up quickly, especially during peak travel seasons. Waiting too long to book an appointment could jeopardize your travel plans by not leaving enough time for the visa to be processed before your intended departure date. Submit your application. On the day of your scheduled appointment, you will need to attend in person at the designated Swiss representation or visa application center. This is where you will physically submit all the documents you have collected. Be sure to arrive on time and have all your papers organized and ready for submission. At the appointment, you will also be required to pay the non-refundable visa application fee. The fee amount can vary depending on your nationality and the type of visa you are applying for. This is also the stage where you will provide your biometric data. This process involves having your fingerprints scanned and a digital photograph taken. This biometric information is then stored in the Visa Information System (VIS) and is generally valid for 59 months, meaning you may not have to provide it again for subsequent Schengen visa applications within that period. Make sure to get a receipt for your payment and your application submission, as you will need it to track the status of your application. Important tips apply early. One of the most critical pieces of advice for a smooth visa application process is to apply early. The official recommendation is to submit your application between 2 and 6 months before your planned travel date. Applying at least 2 months in advance allows ample time for the consulate to process your application, which can sometimes take several weeks, especially during busy periods. Submitting it earlier than 6 months before your trip is not permitted. By applying well in advance, you avoid the stress of last-minute rushes and potential delays that could force you to postpone or cancel your trip. This foresight provides a sufficient buffer to handle any unexpected requests for additional documentation or clarification from the consular authorities. Follow instructions. It is absolutely essential to carefully and thoroughly follow all instructions provided on the official website of the Swiss representation in your specific country of residence. Visa application procedures are highly standardized, and any deviation from the prescribed guidelines can result in your application being returned or rejected. Pay close attention to the details, such as the required format for documents, the number of copies needed, and the specific way forms should be filled out. Do not assume that the process is the same in every country, as minor variations can and do exist. Following the instructions precisely demonstrates your diligence and respect for the process, which can positively influence the outcome of your application. Check specific requirements. While there is a general list of required documents for a Schengen visa, the specific requirements can vary depending on your country of origin and your personal circumstances. Therefore, it is crucial to check the specific detailed list of documents applicable to your location. This information will be available on the website of the local Swiss embassy, consulate, or the designated visa service provider like VFS Global. For example, some jurisdictions might require additional proof of employment, a no-objection certificate from your employer, or specific documents for self-employed individuals or students. Always refer to the official source for your region to ensure you have compiled the exact set of documents needed, as submitting an incomplete application is a common reason for visa denial.